I hope you know every week I'm just going to come up with another unhinged thing to say.
Maybe.
Betty White is still alive.
Betty White was part of the Illuminati. She's still alive.
Silver's like, I hate you all. Exactly.
Damn it. All right, let's actually do it this time.
Hello, and welcome to the apocalypse. I'm Silver. All right, and I'm one of the hosts. Our other two hosts.
Words are kicking your ass today.
Yes. Our other two hosts are going to introduce themselves.
Yep, I'm monDe. Hi.
And I'm Mage. Hi. That made much more sense if either of you had seen Dragonball Z Abridged.
Which we still haven't. Going on week 3 without watching DBZ Abridged.
Shout out to Team 4-Star. Go watch DBZ Abridged.
Anyways, this week's game was a game spun on the wheel and for monDe to make a scorecard of. So go ahead, monDe. Explain the game. Explain the scorecard.
Okie dokie then. What we have on this week's game is video game items in real life. Are they useful? Can they corrupt you? And can you hide them? What is their level of discreetness? We each went through and thought of some items that we've seen in video games to see how they would work pretty good in this modern day society. And we have ratings from 1, which is for usefulness. 1 is causes more problems than it's useful, and 10 is it solves all your problems. Corruptivity, we have you are now the item because it has corrupted you so far that you are 1, and 10 is safe. That item is not corrupting you. Discreetness, now you see me as a 1 because you can't hide it because it's kind of hard to hide a Gundam. If any of our people have a Gundam for an item, good luck. And now you don't, which is a 10. So if you swallowed your item, chances are you're not going to see it.
Which is also a reference. Now you see me, now you don't. To the One Piece Marines D&D game run by Rustage.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the movie called Now You See Me.
No.
Which is about magicians.
No.
You know we're all about that D&D Marines. One
That's
Piece.
Fair. It's a pretty good series. All right. I will spin the wheel and we'll get our first go here. First is Silver.
Ha, not me.
Yeah, not monDe this time.
Yes. My first item.
Oh dear, the grin.
Silver's gonna pull some shit from like a PS1 game.
No, nothing like that. So, are you guys familiar with the game Battlefield?
Yes.
Yes.
The item I chose from Battlefield series, the repair torch.
The repair torch?
That's pretty good.
Oh dear.
It's a torch that you use on a machine, tank, car, jeep, and it just repairs it. It'd be handy in my line of work if I had this.
Listen, I think you and me, I don't know as much about monDe. I know you and me are going to pick items that are going to help us in day to day. Because I have 2 items on here that would help me just in my daily job.
Yes, that's about what mine are. If this be my daily job of a mechanic, if I could just get through vehicles and stuff by just hitting it with a torch.
Done.
Yep. Because I hold it. Yep. It's healed. You're good to go.
That's how I feel about the hammer from like Call of Duty. when they hit it 3 times with the hammer from different angles and it builds a whole wall.
Was that in Call of Duty?
Yeah, it's like in Zombies when you're repairing the wall. Yeah,
that's right. Then there's Torbjorn. He just repairs his turrets by hitting him with the hammer.
Build them up, break them down.
I feel like it'd be useful because being a mechanic, I could just keep it in my toolbox, which would make it discreet with all other torches. Then I could just bring it out, hit it a couple times, be done, send things on their way.
monDe, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I'll start for once.
Yeah, especially because it's yours.
Usefulness, I'm going to have to agree with Silver that this thing would solve pretty much any problem, because in the game, your Jeep gets hit by like a mortar or something, and it's like you hit it with the torch, and next thing you know, it's like wham, bam, thank you, man. Magic torch happens, and now it's fixed. So it's like it doesn't really seem to matter what happens to the vehicle. So I'm going to have to give it a 10 for usefulness. Corruptivity, I mean, you could. I feel like the item could like slightly corrupt you, because if you become dependent on it a lot, you could like almost lose your sense of like how to actually fix things if you were ever to lose your torch. So I'm gonna have to go with like maybe a 5 for corruptivity. Like it's there, but it's not there.
I had that thought too.
And discreetfulness, I mean, if you have a drawer of torches in your toolbox, then I could see you hiding it pretty well.
He said I have 3.
I'm going to give it an 8 for discreetfulness.
Yes.
What's the saying? A bolt can't be tight if it's liquid.
Yeah, it can't be tight if it's liquid. So, yeah, that's my take on that.
I feel like monDe gave a really high score.
I was going off the facts.
So a 10, a 3, a 10, a 5, and an 8. It equals 23.
Dang. Mine will probably be close to that.
My newest torch I'm getting ready to order, though, I'll just let you guys know, is, have you guys heard of the Hacksmith on YouTube?
No.
No.
What's that?
So the Hacksmith on YouTube is a builder, and he creates fantasy items, games, nerdy stuff in real life.
Is he the guy that makes like the Buster swords and stuff?
Yeah, he made like the full-size Reinhardt hammer, Mjolnir.
I've seen that guy.
Yeah.
And then he also makes exoskeletons, and he's working on being the first one to make an actual working portable lightsaber.
That's where I've seen it.
Yeah,
because it's like attached to a tank and everything.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah.
for he sells proto sabers right now, which are torches the size of lightsabers. They look exactly like a lightsaber, and then you can change the color of their flames by putting different like discs in them.
That's cool. Very cool.
I'm thinking about getting one of those.
I will, very similar to monDe. Usefulness is a 10. I mean, it solves many problems. I'm gonna do corruptibility as probably like a 3, because I thought the same thing. Like, you can become too dependent on something. And I know you probably wouldn't do this, but there's a lot of people who would just immediately use it anytime, instead of being like, why am I going to pick the engine up out of this car to fix it when I could just go, done. So it'll become, and then someone's going to reverse engineer it, mass produce it, and becomes a whole problem. Discreetness, I will say probably a 5, because I think the same thing. Like, if you have a bunch of torches, that's fine. But like me, if I just travel around with a torch in my car, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
So I gave you an 18.
That's fair. I can non-mechanics or non-technician people would have a hard time hiding it.
Yeah. If I could give you higher than 10 in usefulness, I would, because you would solve every single mechanical problem ever. That's assuming it works on non-mechanical things, which I'm assuming it would, right?
TV's broken, hit it with the torch.
Fixed.
monDe's computer every other week, hit it with the torch.
Oh, man.
I want to hit it with a torch now.
Just because. And it's working. All right. Next up is, as the wheel spins, We gotta spin it again. It's the first time we've ever had a double. Next is monDe.
Bob Saget. All right. My first item is from a very good game that I spent well over probably 100 hours on.
7 Days to Die?
Baldur's Gate 3.
No and no, but good guesses. Skyrim. The item I have chosen from Skyrim is the Ring of Extra Carry. The Ring of Extra Carry grants you a maximum carry weight of, I think that's 100,000? 100,000. Which one is that?
Yeah, 100,000.
Grants you 100,000 carry weight.
You said, how many zeros is it?
4?
Oh, so 10,000.
Oh, okay. Grants 10,000 carry weight. So I feel like this would be pretty useful around my line of work because, work in a factory, somebody uses up old tomos, just walk over and just pick up a skid of everything and just start carrying it around like no big deal. Because a lot of stuff we have doesn't weigh 10,000 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't think a skid could actually support 10,000 pounds now I think about it.
Depends on the type of skid.
I was gonna say, I'm sure there are some.
Yeah, I feel like this would just be pretty useful. Just, oh, don't pick that up. That's heavy. Oh, you mean this? Just one hand pick up an engine, or one hand move the forklift around.
I'm gonna lift this car so I can see what's wrong with it.
Yeah, just pick up the car a little bit.
I had to change my flat.
Yeah, it's just a ring that pretty much gives you super strength. And it's a ring, so no one's going to look at you like twice, especially if you have it on like your wedding finger. You'd be like, yep, married. Cool looking ring. Picked it out myself. We picked out our own rings.
Silver, do you want me to go first so you have a little time to think?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I thought about this really fast. So usefulness is a 10. I feel like most of these items, so I don't know how you guys did it. I grouped mine into like good, bad, and neutral. So most of them are going to, like in the good one, are going to be like a 10 usefulness. So it's a 10 usefulness because it's the options are limitless for sure. Capability, or sorry, corruptibility is a 1 because I can 100% see a world where like someone puts this on and is like, oh, I'm a supervillain now. And someone walks up to them and is really mean to them. They're like, oh, I can lift 10,000 pounds. And they lift them into space. So yeah, 1 for corruptibility. Discreetness also a 10 because it's just a ring. Like, I mean, if you were to like just take off your wedding ring and put it here, no one is going to say anything. So yeah, that's my score.
Yeah, 21.
To be fair, I feel like there are good people also who would get the ring and would do the Batman thing and like, I'm going to help people. But I feel like for every one of those, there's also 2 other people that are like, man, I really don't like that person. Tear him up. Tear him up.
But why? It's so good.
I might be a little harsh on this one.
Go figure.
Yay.
Because you said it's called a ring of carry, right?
Yeah.
It increases your carry capacity. It does not increase your strength. So heavy objects you wouldn't be able to pick up, but you'd be able to hold them.
You can carry them.
You can carry them. I said didn't say you couldn't do that. I said you couldn't pick them up because it doesn't increase your strength. Do you hit harder in Skyrim with it, with just bare punches?
No, because that falls under attack category.
That's a good point, though.
Because otherwise, it'd be a like carrying capacity in D&D is based off of your strength score, but it's not necessarily always based off strength score. You can add stuff to it without affecting your strength itself.
Right.
So, I mean, it'd be useful for carrying things. You can shove as many cheese wheels in your pockets you want.
I'm going to pick up this house.
I'm going to pick up this car and carry it.
Because it's the same exact issue, which is what's wrong with one of my items later on. Is it increases your carry capacity, but doesn't increase your strength to pick up the item. So usefulness, it's tough to give it a 10 though, because it increases your carrying capacity.
I'm going to make a prediction. I think all of our items are going to get at least an 8 usefulness. That's my guess.
It's very possible. Because all items are useful in real life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Corruptibility, maybe a little higher. I'm going to say a 3 corruptness instead of a 1. Because you can't actually do super strength with it. But if you become too reliant on it, or if you have it and someone cuts your finger off and you're carrying that much weight,
And then you just die.
yeah.
I'm in danger.
My legs!
Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs.
Discreetness as well. I'd say probably a 9. Be in a ring. You still can't take it to places you can't have rings. Okay, through a metal detector.
See, I thought about that too. You just got to empty all your pockets onto the thing and then take the ring off. And then when you go to fill your pockets back, you just put the ring back on and then put everything back.
What are you putting in your pockets that's fitting through a metal detector that's 10,000 pounds?
Neutron star.
Tungsten cubes.
That's not 10,000 pounds. A neutron star is like 1 billion pounds.
Well, he could have backpacks on.
Yeah, fair.
Oh yeah, backpack.
Just sets it down and breaks the machine. Now I can fight freely.
Be like Goku's weight training. Yeah, so people can eventually figure out that you have it, but it'd be harder for them to do that. So probably 8. So a total of 21 for me.
21. You got 2 21s. It's not bad. I believe that's me next also. You got your scores, money?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the last one on the wheel who hasn't been spun for is Mage.
Let me spin. Oh, it's me. Crazy.
Do, 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 do.
My item is from Dragonball Z. It's it's an item in the video games because I remember using it all the time, especially in like Budokai 2. It is the Sensu Bean item.
Sensu bean.
Sensu Bean.
That is really good. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I did, but I thought it was like one-time use because you always eat it and then it's gone. So I didn't want to make disposable.
Well, the great thing about beans is beans are plants. So you can always plant them and grow more, right? So my thought was like you could use these sensu beans essentially as a healing item. So the usefulness, they're very helpful in healing, fully restore all of your health unless you have like unless you have it's a disease, unless you have a disease or something like that, because Goku couldn't fix his coronary heart disease or whatever.
I think they fix physical injuries.
That seems right.
Yeah, because Raccoon snapped Gohan's neck, and then they Sensu bean, and then Gohan's neck was not snapped no more.
Okay.
Yeah. And a disease and stuff is caused by bacteria and such.
Yeah, Goku's was caused by eating too much bacon. Corruptibility, I actually will admit, I feel like corruptibility is... So I feel like it's pretty safe. We don't ever see any adverse side effects in the games or anything like that. But I think very similar to like the torch thing. If you just use this as like the healing thing, eventually people are just going to become very reliant on it. But I feel like that's a lot of things. But I think the fact that it is held back from healing like everything kind of helps with that, because you can't be solely reliant on just that. And discreetness, it's a bean. It's very easy to hide. But a little weird if you're just carrying a bag of beans.
Unless you're a farmer.
Yeah, unless you're a farmer. If Silver is carrying a bag of beans, it's okay. If monDe or I is, it's weird.
I don't know. I carry a lot of weird stuff with me.
I thought about that as soon as I finished my sentence. Actually. But yeah, Sensu Bean from Dragon Ball Z.
Since I went last time on to give my score, I'll go first this time. Usefulness, like you said, healing is always helpful. And plus being able to be replanted, being in beans, you know of a location that we call the lookout that you can plant them at.
And it's never exclusively said that you can't plant them other places in the show. Because I think in Dragon Ball they were talking about you just need like proper care of them.
Just need to find a talking cat.
Yeah, you just need to find a talking cat named Whiskers the Wonder Cat. And
Usefulness 10, corruptibility, just go with a base 5. because any drug or substance that heals you
Yeah.
might have some addiction to somebody, or if they're allergic to it, you don't know.
That's true.
And discreetness, you'll have to have a place to actually farm them, depending on how much you use them.
When you got to think of like it's Ohio. Like how often can you grow beans in Ohio?
Once a year, usually for a growing period.
So it limits that a little bit.
I mean, if you have a greenhouse and such, you could probably get away with that, growing them year round. You can't take them places where you're not allowed to have food, extra food or drinks, unless you get caught, like a movie theater. Usually it's something you want to keep at home. So if the government learns...
I feel like we can't use the government on this, because if they find out a lot of stuff...
You mentioned government. I looked at my list and was like, if the government finds any of the items I have listed, they're taking it.
But also with the U.S. government as it is, and wanting to control all healthcare, and they can't make as much money if you don't get physical injuries. So healing the physical injuries, you'd really want to keep these beans hidden, but also want to spread them as fast as you can so people know about them. It's be kind of hard.
True.
Because if people don't have to worry about physical injuries, then doctors can just worry about diseases and such.
Can you imagine how many diseases would get solved?
Just focus on those.
Imagine how many are already solved.
Yeah. If all the doctors in the world were like, oh shit, I don't have to work as a primary care doctor anymore.
Oh, you got a sore throat? I know.
Here's a bean.
Would they cure a sore throat? Because it's caused by a bacteria. It's not physical injury.
Ooh.
It might not cure the sore. Well, a sore throat is a physical injury typically. It's an irritation.
Yeah, it'd cure that, but then it'd come right back in a little bit.
It would cure the injury, but it would cure the ailment, but not the source.
That's just like if you're sitting there punching, let's just say Hercule in the face, and he pops one of these, he gets healed again, you just keep punching him again, he gets hurt again. That's about the equivalent to a sore throat and eating a sensu bean. I just talked myself down from a 10 to a 9 on usefulness on that.
Oh, you fucker.
But I'd say probably 7 on discreetfulness.
That's fair.
Don't let the government know.
Again, every item on here, don't tell the government. Can you imagine if you told the government you had an item called the repair torch?
I mean, you guys could use that because it would have thrown every single repair shop out of disorder because it'd be so fast and they charge.
And 90% of repair shops are small business, so you just crashed one of the biggest small businesses in the world.
Yeah. Plus, the repair shops are all right around 120 to 140 an hour labor rate. If you can get it done in a minute or so.
Get it done in 30 seconds.
Don't even get out of the car. Hold on. Okay, you're good. Get out of here.
Get the hell out of here. Anyway, so usefulness is, you said 9.
Yep, 9 usefulness, 5 corruptibility, and 8 for discreetness. It's for a total of
22. All right, monDe.
So Silver did have me talk down a little bit there from a 10 to like a 9 or so because of the whole bacterial thing. However, there's one key thing that we all haven't talked about sensu beans. The dietary nutrition. Because if you eat one, you're full for, what was it, 10 days? 10 days you can go without food?
Yeah, it's a long time.
So not only is it a, hey, I'm going to fix your bones, it's like, hey, you want to go on a diet? Eat one of these beans every 10 days. You'll probably lose weight at some point.
At some point.
Because wasn't it Yajirobe that's like, oh, I'm going to eat like a handful of these things. And next thing you know, he was like super bloated. Corin's all like, fuck you.
Yeah, the eater becomes fully nourished for 10 days.
Ha! That all came out of memory.
Good pull. I didn't even think about that. Oh, yeah, I forgot Yajirobe ate like 6 of them and swelled up like a balloon.
But, so usefulness on that, I'm going to have to restore it to a 10 on my scale. Corruptibility, though, that one I'm going to have to be a little rough on, because if they do get out, like, the public and stuff, I mean, there's probably going to be needed less doctors in hospitals, because they're going to be like, I broke my arm. Okay, here's a sensu bean.
Yeah, fair.
So I'm gonna have to give it maybe a 3, because like especially if it falls into dietary purposes, healing purposes. But discreetness, I mean, people carry weird stuff on them in general. So I feel like you go through a like airport security and you just drop some beans on the thing, they're gonna look at them and go, "Okay, not threat."
This is not a bomb.
And I don't think sensu beans would smell like drugs unless they
not.
trained dogs to smell out sensu beans if they knew what they were.
Listen, if the government took it over and started mass producing them, you can bet there's going to be a sensu bean sniffing dog at every airport.
Good point.
I mean, they'll probably outlaw them first, like they did
Yep.
marijuana, and then start to bring them back where they can get the money from it.
Or they'll make a legal age where you can actually use them.
I feel like we're going to have to change the category of this episode to conspiracy podcast.
Yeah, conspiracy. So, discreetfulness, I'm going to have to give it a 9 just for that.
Silver, what were the two ones you got? What were your 2 scores from monDe and I?
18 from you and 23 from monDe.
You broke the pattern. monDe got 21-21. I got 22-22. And you got 18-23.
I mean, you could always change yours to 23, so I could be 23-23.
I'm all good. You beat me by 1 last time. Remember that. I'm not vindictive.
So round 2. As the foreshadowing foretold about carrying capacity.
If you pick a bag of holding, you motherfucker.
No, it's even more than a bag of holding.
Okay.
Oh.
Its carrying capacity is well over a bag of holding. Maybe not item number wise, but weight wise it is. So I have well over 1,000 hours in this game. Can you guess what it is?
1,000?
Minecraft.
Oh, you fucker.
It's Minecraft.
Of course it's fucking Minecraft.
There's many items I could have picked from Minecraft. The one I used the most in the game, shulker boxes.
Fuck is a shulker box?
Yes, educate us non-Minecraft players.
I've never played a single minute of Minecraft.
A shulker box is an item that's in-game item where you go to the end, defeat some monsters called shulkers, then you put their shells around the chest, and it becomes a portable chest, pretty much. So you can store up to 28 items in it, then you break it, and your items stay in the chest. And you can just put it in your pocket.
That seems very broken.
It's very useful, so you don't have to. You can carry up to like 28 of these at the same time.
Okay.
So you just have a crap ton of like items on you, but only like 28 boxes.
Yeah, it's 28 boxes with 28 different items in it. So
28 times 28.
It's roughly how many?
What, 4,060 something?
28 times 28. 784.
Okay. Yeah, so that's 784 items you can have carrying on you if you have the full number of 28 shulker boxes. But you can have, it pretty much nullifies the weight of anything to 0.
Ooh.
Because if you have 28 stacks of obsidian, an obsidian block in Minecraft is 3 foot by 3 foot. Then if you multiply that by 64, which is a stack, which multiplies that by 28, if you have the chest full, that means a carrying capacity of roughly 8,307,712, plus or minus a couple million. It's just to be super helpful because when you go to pick it up, it goes back to pocket sized.
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand.
You put it down, it spins open, you shove it full of stuff, close it back up, pick it up, it's back to pocket size, you can just carry it around.
Mon, do you want me to go first or you got it?
I'll go first.
It's super useful for the lumber and construction industry. It gets rid of pallets.
Gets rid of pallets.
And shipping and receiving, which is monDe. You just have to handle shulker boxes.
Okay, so as Mage predicted in the future, usefulness of this sounds like it's a 10. Corruptibility, it sounds safe. I mean, I Unless small children are shoving each other in these shulker boxes and being like, I choose you, and use them as Pokeballs.
Living things
Or-
can't go in it.
Okay, good.
You can't put dead things in it.
Can't put living or dead things in it?
You can put dead things because you can put chicken and beef and food in it.
Okay.
I have a
Carrots.
question about that though.
Yes.
What live things can you get in Minecraft? Like, can you normally keep a live thing in your bag?
No. There is
that's right.
mods that allow you to pick them up and carry them.
Okay.
Okay, but dead things can go. Does anything seem to decay while it's in these things?
Nope, there's no decay timing. It pretty much preserves them as is.
Okay, so corruptibility, I'm gonna have to go with a 7. It seems pretty safe. And discreetfulness, I mean, if we're using airport security as a reference guide for discreetness,
That's the best one, probably.
if you set it down on the thing because it's pocket size and you gotta empty your pockets, is it gonna expand into a trunk and now they have to go through this?
Yes.
Or is this something you can maybe slip into your luggage and it won't expand into a thing? Like, can you throw it down and it stays little?
You can't throw it down, it stays little as long as you don't place it. Because you can toss items in Minecraft and they'll just kind of be laying on the ground. Unless you place it down, it won't open.
So what you got to do is you got to stay more than 2 feet away from your suitcase and
then
throw
huck it in.
Yeah, and hope it lands in the suitcase.
Well, once you get it opened up, there's 28 separate individual pockets, so you can organize inside too.
Yeah, so it is your suitcase.
Okay, so what I'm hearing here is you can literally pack all your clothes inside a shulker box, whatever it is,
Shulker box. You're right.
and then just throw it into an empty suitcase, zip it up, and then be like, "Oh, okay, you got that in there. Carry on."
Yes.
I'm gonna have to probably give this one maybe a 10. Like, that sounds pretty nifty.
So wait, you said 10 usefulness, 10 discreetness.
Yeah, and then 7 for corruptibility.
It's the highest score so far.
And just imagine if you're doing all your loading and shipping and you just get shulker boxes in that are like softball sized, baseball sized, pocket sized. You can just put them over, lay them down, unpack your stuff.
Leave it to Minecraft.
Yes. So what was that total up to then?
27.
Okay.
Now that monDe has inflated your ego a little bit, I'm gonna pop it.
Just because you don't like Minecraft.
No, that's part of it, I guess. Usefulness is a 10.
This is gonna be exactly like my flipping One Piece.
Yeah, probably. Usefulness is a 10. Like every one of these items is gonna be. For sure. Corruptibility, I'm gonna say like a 5. We'll go middle of the road because, like you said, you can't have real or like living items in there. But I also feel like they're gonna find a way to do it, right? Like I feel like enough people are gonna try it, or it's gonna be something where people are gonna use it to kill people.
Oh, they're gonna use the thing to hide bodies.
Yeah,
But they don't decay in it, so it'd be they find the shulker box, it'll be perfectly preserved.
and then you take it and you throw it in a river. No one will ever find it again.
Besides magnet fishermen's.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure. I don't think they're magnetic because they're made of shell. So
Yeah, but don't Minecraft items float?
yeah, Minecraft items float.
And then we can. There's the same thing as like every other item we have on here. It'll become dependable. People will use it for, everything. Discreetness, I'm gonna go like maybe a 6. So you said this at the beginning, that you can have up to in the game. You can have up to 28 of them, right?
On you at the same time.
If it becomes pocket sized, right? 1 is fine. But then if you have, I have 28 of these boxes that I'm carrying, that becomes less discreet. Of like, oh shit, hold on.
Well, that's when you have a backpack.
Like 28 D20s.
Yeah.
28 D20.
It's just, fuck, here you go. So I'm going to say a 6 for discreetness. Because it is very easier to hide and travel with, but when you start getting up to like multiple of them, then it becomes a problem.
But you can also dye them too, so that you can tell which colors, what has what items in it. Which is more of a usefulness thing, but it's
I didn't even think about like that problem of, fuck, which one of these are my keys in?
Just write on them with a marker.
Yeah. Keys. Yeah, so I'm gonna say that was 21, I think, for me.
Okay,
I was nice.
that was nice. I was a toss up between that one and the Ender chest in Minecraft, where you place it down, you can get stuff out of it, and if anybody else looks in it, it's invisible to them, and they only see what they put in it. It's like your own pocket dimension.
Very cool.
Pocket sand.
Pakistan.
I'm glad I chose this one.
monDe, that is you.
Yeah, this one's kind of lame.
Great start.
Yeah, I'm not looking for a big score on this one, so I'm probably screwed. So mine is from the classic game that we've all played, and it's great. We died a lot. Super Smash Bros.
Okay.
The item is the Star of Invincibility.
You mean Mario?
It's in Super Smash Bros.
Correct, but it's very, very famously for Mario.
Look, I saw the Smash Orb on our card, and I instantly went to Super Smash Bros.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
So yes, it is in Mario. It is, but yes, I'm thinking the Star of Invincibility would be a very useful item because, like, if it's one of those in case of emergency break glass type deals, like, oh, I'm about to get hit by a car accident. I'm just gonna pop this star and become immune to everything possible.
Can I laugh at how you phrase that as I'm about to get hit by a car accident?
or if you know there's an active shooter or something, you pop this thing and you got, what is it, like 15 seconds?
I think so. It's usually like 10 to 15, depending on the game.
You got that much time to track down the shooter, be bulletproof, and just tackle his ass.
You touch them and they just go pink and die.
I was going to say, I feel like you touch them and it'll just keel over.
It's going to be like Raikage when he grabs a face and just punts it right in the ground. Like, nope, you're done.
Your game is over.
I mean, corruptibility, I feel like could be very high with this, maybe. But discreetfulness, I mean, who doesn't want a little glowy star necklace?
But it's also used up and you can't regrow them.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of ours were either regrowing or reusable. So when I had this one on my list, I was like, fuck.
So I don't know about silver, but I think you and I are in the same boat. I had two really good ones, and my last one is like,
yeah,
it's not great.
I'd say mine's pretty great, even though it might be embarrassing. My last one is, but
oh boy. But yeah, that's my second one. I'm in danger.
okay, Mage.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, so the star is in basically every Mario game ever, literally ever.
But famously from Super Smash.
Yeah, famously from Super Smash. It makes you invincible. It's gotta be 10 seconds. It's gotta be 10 seconds.
Every time I looked it up, I couldn't find it.
9 seconds. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. I was looking at Palutena's final move. But it makes you invincible for a certain amount of time. Like I said, usually about 10 seconds. Which is useful. So usefulness, again, with the theme, it's a 10. It makes you completely vulnerable. It also makes you faster. You can jump higher. I think you do more damage. So you're stronger. Yeah. Corruptibility. Has anyone seen the Super Mario movie? The new one?
No, I've been wanting to.
I watched it a long time ago.
It's on Amazon Prime. I recommend it. Actually, it's on Netflix. Sorry. Highly recommend it. Very good. The entire plot of that movie is Bowser trying to get the star because it corrupts him. So, corruptibility is a 1. Because we'll go with the government thing. The second the government finds out you have an item that makes you invincible, you are going to die. Unless you use said item. In discreetness, I'm going to say maybe a 5. Because like you said, a glowing necklace, it's not that small. It looked like Flavor Flav's clock. Like the rapper. And it's also very bright. So you would just have this giant glowing,
perfect
star you're carrying around.
Be like Super Mage, just have your sunglasses on all the time with the giant ass star necklace.
Hey, I love my sunglasses. Yeah, so 5. So 16.
I think that's our lowest score yet.
I do believe so, and I'm very sorry. I've given the 2 lowest scores.
Unfortunately, it does get lower.
Silver, it does get lower. I'm gonna
Jesus.
lose my own game. I'm gonna pull a silver.
Well, with that comment, I would like to give usefulness a 5, not a 10, as 20 to 30, so 10 to 30 seconds of invulnerability is not that much. And you really only usefulness of it is for protecting yourself, which how often in day to day does that need done? Unless you're, as you can see, application wise for military and police and first responders.
Let's not forget if you're a person of jackass. That might help you.
Oh, yeah.
Then the show wouldn't be the show. What would be the point of the show then?
The show is the show because he gets the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be more of a show for sensu beans.
Yeah, that is definitely a sensu bean type show.
He gets kicked by a donkey. Sensu bean.
Gets branded sensu bean. Brand's gone. Yeah, so I don't really think it'd be useful day to day. But 5's being generous. I was thinking about giving it a 2, but corruptibility, I see a 1. So I'm one to be corrupt and get more of it. I can see happening. And discreetness, it is a glowing star. Unless you make a rap career, it's not really acceptable streetwear. I don't see you being a rapper unless you're like Rustage or somebody, make an internet rapper. So 2.
Yikes.
So a total of 8.
Jesus Christ.
I just don't think it'd be a very good item.
Well, it's been a great episode, guys.
There's not many uses for it, unfortunately.
Sad face. House falling down on you. Activate! House ain't falling on me now.
Your house is still going to fall down.
Oh no, a burglar. Activate. Burglar waits 30 seconds.
Just points a gun at your face.
It gives you like speed and its strength, so then you just like put his face in the ground. Insta-death.
Hey, monDe, I know you know how fast bullets are. Can you...
Yeah.
I don't even care if you can run at double your speed. Are you outrunning a bullet?
Who's running away? You go after the gun. You're invincible. It ain't gonna hurt you. They might empty their clip before you get there.
You're storing the superstar in a glass case. You're at home alone. Someone breaks the star for themselves.
It's the same concept of like having a gun in a gun safe.
That's why you sleep with the star under your pillow.
Your kid accidentally touches it. You imagine how mad you would be. This one-of-a-kind thing, and they use it for 10 seconds and just run around the house really fast.
They accidentally go in for a hug and just instantly kill you for some reason by accident.
It's gonna be like Jack from The Incredibles.
That's so fun.
Pretty much. Yeah, so that'd be an 8 for me for that.
That's a rough
Not
one.
one of my better items I should have picked.
Your combined score was less than I got this round. No, it was equivalent to what I got this round.
It's what I get for trying to switch video games. Should have stayed with PC or PlayStation. Fucking Game Boy.
You want me to show you how to do Mario, right? Because I have a Mario item.
Okay, so item number 2 for Mage.
I'm going to go... This one I know is not going to be amazingly high, but I think it'll be okay. I'm going to pick an oldie but a goodie, which is a lightsaber.
From what game?
And I amended it to be any of the Star Wars video games. Attack of the Clones, any of the Lego ones, any of those. A lot of different variations with it. It's a lot of really cool items. Very, very cool looking. Obviously very powerful. It can cut through anything. It's seen cutting through different types of metal. It's seen cutting people in half. They use it. I think the one scene he uses it to, he like sticks it into like a metal building as he's falling, and it like slows his fall, which is really cool. So very, very useful item. This is where it gets rough. Corruptibility, I feel like it can be very corruptible. Because again, it's a weapon. Like if people figure out like, hey, you have this, it's like a, like a gun, right? Good and bad. And then discreetness, a lot of them are smaller, but it is still like a metal sword you have. I wasn't going to use this one, but I feel like I got kind of a layup this round, so monDe's going to give me a 4.
No, but now I'm looking for a third item.
Well, what's the third item you don't want to use?
No, that was my third item. I had 3 items.
What was your other one? You only used 2.
Yeah, lightsaber was my third.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
You're good. I'm looking now.
That means you looked at the scorecard and went, Smash Bros, Mario Star, lightsaber.
Skyrim was my curveball.
Skyrim was my curveball. Yeah, so tear me apart. Because I know this one's going to be rough. But I love Star Wars, and I wanted to include it.
I dubbed silver first on this one.
Okay. Usefulness.
Think of all the application it could have in your world.
It pretty much works as a plasma cutter, which is
a much stronger plasma cutter.
It'd be stronger, but it'd be kind of unwieldy if you can't change its length to like half an inch or so.
Think also, I'm sure you could figure out how to do that. And think also about how the medical field.
I guess Yoda's is smaller.
Yeah. Think about the medical field. Using it to like cauterize wounds, and if someone has to have an amputation, it's instant. You have to worry about like, oh, we're going to knock them out and saw this off. Nope. Done. Cauterize the wound. All good.
I'm pretty sure Anakin was still in pain, so you might have to anesthesia
Anakin was in
him.
pain because he was caught on fire. He rolled into the lava.
Yeah, about 50-50 there.
Yeah, probably a little bit.
I could see it for bank robbers.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, and the only thing that can really stop a lightsaber is Beskar, if I remember right.
Yeah, Beskar armor.
Which is what the Mandalorian's made of. Most of them.
Which is, in the Star Wars universe, is incredibly rare. So,
yes.
I know we ain't got it.
I just don't see the really... It's like the Superstar where it's useful for a very particular set of skills, but it's not...
Again, I got a layup, so...
Even in the mechanics field, it's not that handy with the length being as long as it is, but if it's adjustable, I can see it being better for there.
You could also use it in, like, building and trade, cutting metal and things to specific sizes and shapes.
Yeah, it'd have to be thinner, really, for that, so you don't burn your lumber or lose a bunch of material.
That's true.
But the deconstruction field, very helpful.
Cutting down the rainforest.
Cutting down the rainforest.
It's happening every day.
I'd be burning down the rainforest.
That'd be mostly California, but they'd probably be banned in California and Australia.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is.
But
particularly guns are banned in those areas.
House demolition, just start cutting foundations and pull it over. Be pretty much a sawzall, a torch. Yeah. So I'd say probably 6, 7. We'll go with 6 for usefulness. Corruptibility. I mean, if you have one, you're definitely going to try cutting everything. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's not really a great kid's toy if they get a hold of it, because then you'll have friends with missing limbs.
But you said it, though. It's just like a plasma cutter. Would you want a kid to play with a plasma cutter?
Not necessarily. It'd be an adult supervised activity, like most of the items. So, corruptibility, probably have to give it a 5 as well, because you have to actively use it, unlike the Superstar, which is you kind of just touch it.
Oh yeah, you have to turn it on.
So it's harder to actually use. Then discreetness, probably a 5 as well, just because it's a lightsaber handle. There's thousands of them in Walmart and out in the wild, because they can just blend in.
Out in the wild? Yeah, we have a lightsaber tree.
So that'd be a total of 15 for me for the lightsaber. 5's all around.
Perfect.
It's very mid.
As the younger generation says.
Okay, monDe, your thoughts now.
I mean, there's plentiful applications for a lightsaber. Amputees, toasting bread, making food, dropping it down to see if it'll go all the way to Earth's core.
Shout out to Rick and Morty.
I mean, but like, is it usefulness or is it tomfoolery? So, usefulness, yes. I'm going to give it a 9 for usefulness. But corruption's gonna be pretty high for me because it's a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone that gets their hands on it, like Silver said, you're gonna want to cut stuff. You're gonna want to see what'll stop it. You're gonna want to play with the dark side.
Yeah, there's literally an entire show about how this weapon is also used by evil people. So I knew what I was getting into.
I'm gonna have to give its corruption maybe a 2. And discreetness, I mean, it's a lightsaber. They're in the wilds, but there's toy ones and real ones. And then there's the fun ones that are like little light up things.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it pretty much falls into like where the repair torch is. Like you could throw it in your drawer of lightsabers and be like, okay, it's hidden. And then somebody just look in there and be like, wow, this person has a problem. And then they pull out like one of your fake ones. So I'm going to give its discreetness maybe a 6. Yeah, we'll go 6 because it's a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And everyone knows you can't get a lightsaber on the airplane anyway, whether it's fake or real.
That's funny.
You go to close the lightsaber like it's one of the fake ones with your hand. It just goes right through it.
That was the one real one. No.
Actually, to your comment about a fake one, the amount of people that came back from Disney with us, because I just got a droid. I didn't get a lightsaber. But the amount of people that got a lightsaber and had them on the plane, so many.
They allowed them on the plane.
Yeah.
Well, there went my verdict of discreetfulness. Maybe they can go past airport security.
I mean,
they're just like,
I'm sure they can tell it's fake though.
It's probably like a prop check, like conventions.
Yeah. They pull out your fake gun at conventions, just bang, bang, bang. Shit, that was real.
I mean, there's probably some heat coming off of a real lightsaber than a fake one.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll still hold it at a 6. I feel like a 6 is fair.
I'm good with that.
Ma, he burnt me with his lightsaber. Don't be silly, Jimmy. It's fake.
Shut up, Jimmy.
Snitches get stitches, Jimmy. That brings the closing to round 2.
Next is Silver for the final round.
Okay. Okay. I know monDe's last item from the Mario series didn't end well.
You're going to pick an item from the Mario series now?
My last item was also from the Mario series, but it's way more useful than the Superstar.
I have one from there as well.
The Tanuki Leaf.
Oh, okay.
It grants you the magical girl capability of turning into a person wearing a Tanuki suit.
The magical girl capability. How dare you?
It's like an instant transformation. Place the leaf upon your head like a Tanuki in Japanese mythology. Change into a Tanuki suited person where you have the ears and tail of a Tanuki. In the earlier games of Mario, the Super Mario 3 and such, the Tanuki had unlimited flight pretty much. And he pretty much made Mario Kirby in the Super Smash games. He can kind of float and fly around. And then he did a drop down attack where he turned into a stone statue and landed, pretty much eliminating all enemies, dealing him no damage, making him invulnerable in that state. But yeah, you are wearing a Tanuki suit though that you can change in and out of with a leaf, but you get flight. And flight would be handy for traveling, working in high-rise places like grain silos, electrical towers, just taking pictures of places and festivals. It's pretty much a jetpack, just furry.
Jetpack, just furry.
And quieter. And people will think you're a cryptid if you go out at night.
monDe, you want to start or do you want me to start?
Well, since you asked so nicely, I'll let you start.
Usefulness, I'm going to say about an 8. It is pretty useful for most application. Corruptibility, can you imagine an entire army outfitted with flight? So I'm going to give that like a 3. Because some country is going to mass produce Tanuki suits and just have a bear army.
Well, they got to recreate the magical properties of a leaf. Because the leaf is with you.
You gotta figure out how to do it. Discreetness 2, you're in a Tanuki suit.
That's after you use the item's a leaf.
Okay, just a leaf, yeah. Okay, so we'll say a 6 then, because it is just a leaf. I'll give you that.
Okay.
So what's that? 8, 8, and 8, 16.
17.
Oh, 17. You're right.
That was a fast rating.
I like the Tanuki suit. I don't have much bad to say about it.
monDe looks like he wants to just give me a low score because I gave him his Mario item a low score.
No, I play fair. So, Tanuki suit usefulness, flight, very useful. Stone statue grants invulnerability. I mean, that is useful for landings. I feel like you just flying you up there. Good old time. Gonna go land. You don't want to be like cause a scene, so you just turn into a stone statue and fall.
I think that would cause more of a commotion and just, landing normally, which you can still land normally and take no damage.
Yeah, but there's no fun in that. So usefulness, I mean, air travel, I'm probably going to have to give you a 9 because you're going to get tired more than if you were going to take a plane, I feel like. So I'm going 9 based off stamina. Corruptibility, I mean, I feel like it could be corruptful, but I mean, it's a leaf. I don't really see much damage a leaf could do, but the suit, we'll go mid. We'll go 5 for corruptibility. And can you, for like traveling with hiding the item or travel, it's a leaf. I don't think airport security is going to be like, what's up with that leaf? However, if you're like saying screw airport security and you're flying, I feel like kids are going to look out the window and be like, why is there a flying raccoon up here? And they're going to look at their parents and be like, hey, there's a thing there. And then you just be like, nope. Or just fly on the plane and turn into a statue and then just ride on top of the plane. Because I don't think they're like helicopters. Or they like hit a weight unbalance and then have fun. I don't know. Discreetfulness, I'm going to give it a 5. Because there's like pros and cons there. But if we're just going leaf status, I'm going to give it an 8.
Yeah, the item itself is the leaf. The effect is you get a suit.
Okay. So yeah, discreetness, then I will give it an 8. I was going off the suit.
Yeah,
it's actually
the leaf. Yeah, the leaf is the power-up item in Mario that grants you the suit.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to hold my thing for corruptibility because then you're just sitting there looking at the leaf like, do I use it? Do I not? Do I use it?
Then it's the same as your superstar ability where you gain invulnerability, except you just can't move.
So yeah, 9, 5, and 8. 22.
All right, that was my third item. Now the third item of our next 2 hosts.
monDe.
Well, since Super Mage took mine,
I'm very sorry.
I mean, I went on the darker side of things on this item. I'm gonna have to go with the Millennium Rod.
Jesus. Listen, this is how similar we are. On my list, I have Millennium items written down.
Well, I figured items would have been too wide range, so I went with the rod.
I wasn't sure which one to pick.
I had the dual projectors. I don't know why you guys are...
So I feel like this explains all of us so well. Silver picked only like really good items. monDe picked like very questionable items, and I picked middle of the road items. I can't wait till we get to honorable mentions because a lot of mine are fucking rough.
So, usefulness for the Millennium Rod. I mean, it can mess with people's mind.
What game is it from?
Oh, I'm sorry. So, Millennium Rod is from Yu-Gi-Oh! I picked it from Game Boy Advance Sacred Cards or Sacred Memories. It was one of those two. It was the Battle City version where Merrick is in it. And he uses it to take over people's minds. So I'm going off that perspective of, like, it can hypnotize people, basically. So it can be pretty useful for, like, getting people to stop, like, probably smoking and, like, getting them to quit their, like, bad habits because you just wipe that part out of their mind completely. Like, oh, you're an alcoholic? Not anymore. What's that? You want a cigarette? Not anymore. Or, like, it could also be good to use for the justice system. Like, I don't know if I should use that on here. You want little children? Not anymore.
You're a pedophile? Now you're not. Bless your heart.
The Millennium Rod is now the new Reformation Stick.
Yes.
It's the new rehabilitation system.
I mean, the corruptibility could be a little high having that much power, but discreetfulness, you could always be like, get them to come into like a dark alley or a like abandoned warehouse and just make them forget that they even met you, but they still have the consequences of their actions.
Jesus Christ.
But you can always still keep tabs on what they're doing because you can like look through their eyes and be all like, oh, okay, that's what's going on the outside world. I'm just saying, like, you guys, rehabilitation stick. And then if they're just too far gone, Shadow Realm, coma, whatever they go after that. Usefulness.
So you're I'm gonna say this now, before we get into the rating. You're missing a couple different abilities that it also has. It allows you to telepathically communicate with anybody, look into people's memories, trick people into believing they are other people. You can render people unconscious for unforeseen periods of time. God, I forgot how fucking powerful this thing was.
I don't see the drawback of it. It's not corruptibility. It's safe.
Can I go first, Silver?
Yeah.
You watched I'm going to start with corruptibility. It's a 1.
You can't start with the middle one. That messes up.
Okay, fine. We'll start with usefulness. It's a 10. I think I gave a 10 for every single usefulness because we wouldn't pick items that aren't useful. So it's a 10 for sure.
You gave me a 9.
Did I really?
Yeah,
For
the
what?
Snooki suit.
Oh yeah, I did.
Anyway.
But okay, we're not going to give anything as lower than a 7.
Yeah.
Yes, huh? I got a flippin' 5 on my Mario star from him.
Moving on. I gotta write that down. God, now I got distracted.
And that's why it's the apocalypse.
I had to write it down. So yeah, usefulness is a 10 for sure. Incredibly versatile, cool thing to use. Corruptibility is a 1. We watched an entire season of this show about how the rod was corrupting Merrick.
Debatable.
It's not. He killed so many people in that season.
Did he kill them, or did he just let them go to sleep?
Yeah, the forever sleep.
I mean, it does have a built-in knife in the bottom of it.
Yeah, which I think he used to kill his dad. Fun fact.
Yep.
Yeah, rough time for Merrick. So corruptibility is a 1. Also, can you imagine if like, what's the classic movie trope where like they find some ability to brainwash people and then they find some way to project it to everybody and they're like, I'm going to control everyone. Someone will 100% try to do that.
Oh yeah.
Once they find out this can corrupt people or this can like take over people's minds, they're going to do it. Discreetfulness 6. It's a blade.
It's a walking stick. It's a fancy walking stick.
It's like this long.
It's only like 2 foot long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a giant blade. That part's going to be a hard sell.
It also does have an eyeball in the center of it with 2 sharp wing pieces on the sides.
I think those are also blades. If not, they're very sharp.
That's like saying the puzzle's a dagger because it's very sharp.
I mean, you never know. But yeah, it was not great. It's a really cool item, and I think I gave it a good score. I gave you a 17. But it's definitely Merrick does some pretty evil shit with it in the show.
But I was looking at the good stuff on the. They need to make a game where you can use the items.
Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Battle Royale. Yeah, but some of the items are like the rod is really powerful. What are you gonna do? Fight someone with a Millennium Eye?
You just take their soul.
I'm gonna look at you real hard.
Because Pegasus took the soul right through a TV monitor just via a thing.
He legitimately did.
You get on live TV and just be like, hey, guess what? Now everyone that just was watching TV lost their soul.
Yeah. I don't think there's a single Millennium item that was like, because even if someone not Yugi had the Millennium Puzzle and solved it, Atem was not a good person. So like you would have had the wisdom of a pharaoh who was a fucking dick.
That didn't have a name.
Well, yeah, not at first.
I think the only crappy Millennium item was the Millennium Scale. No offense to Shoddy,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
because even the key was more useful.
The key was one of the best items.
It was the key to the Millenniums.
Well, it was the key to dimensions because he uses it to go into the Millennium Puzzle, and then he uses it to go into Merrick's mind as well. It's the key to people's minds.
Yeah, that one. All right, let's hear Silver destroy me.
Hey, it's not that bad.
That bad.
I feel like Silver actually kind of likes this.
10 is for usefulness, because if you can use it, it has a lot of benefits. So 10 for usefulness, because mind controlling people, you can get off work early without them realizing you left.
Hold on, I forgot to touch on this. You two gave the nicest answers for the use of mind control. monDe, to be fair, for what monDe said, hypnotism is one of the ways they use to cure smoking. So, like, not far off. And Silver's talking about, like, oh, I want to leave work early. Not like, I want this person to go kill their neighbor.
I'm gonna cure cancer.
I'm going to give this person the ability to cure cancer. It's so funny.
You have ADHD. Well, now you don't. You're welcome.
Don't you take away my superpower. And also my biggest weakness.
Anything with the mind, if it can mess with it, can be both good and bad. But the usefulness of being able to mess with somebody's mind, especially long distance telepathic communication, you can talk so much shit about somebody to somebody right next to them if you can be a telepath or just read their minds.
Yeah, true.
Or, I mean, if you don't like them, you could just make it sound like they're hearing voices, and then they'd be like, "Who's there?" Make
That
them
is
sound
also
they're going
true.
Crazy,
That's why the corruptibility is a 1, because
of course.
no one's going to use it for good all the time.
Yeah, that's fair.
The human race is not good.
Some people will use it for good most of the time.
Yeah.
But not all the time.
Use it for help the community, and then use it to help yourself, like getting off work early.
It's a balancing act.
Discreetfulness, carrying around the 2-foot rod with sharp pointy end and sharp blades, and it has an eyeball.
Look, I'm just saying open carry is legal in some states, so just carrying around something like that can't be as bad as just carrying around a gun.
But most states have a law against having cane swords or hidden weapons.
It's not hidden if it's open.
The blade is hidden inside the handle.
They don't know that.
Hence the word hidden.
Is that what hidden means?
They don't know that. Jesus Christ.
It's hidden amongst the hidden.
So discreetfulness, I'm going to have to go with a 4.
That's funny.
Because it is shiny gold.
I mean, spray paint fixes everything.
I don't know if spray paint sticks to magical items.
It hasn't been confirmed in video games nor internet source.
It hasn't lost its shimmer in over 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So apparently it doesn't rust or corrode.
I mean, the ring looked pretty shoddy. It gets mud on it when in Duelist Kingdom.
Mud's mud, though.
But mud stuck to it. He had to wipe the mud off.
Yeah. So a total of 15 for me for your third item.
That's pretty good.
Okay, then. Last up, Mage.
Oh, I was looking to see if I could find a better item because I know you guys are going to tear my last one apart.
And we did end up pulling from animes again this week. But they were anime games.
I have something that I want to try this.
Animal Crossing's Net.
Yeah. I'm going to pick the Grimoires from Black Clover.
That's a video game?
Yeah, Black Clover's got a video game.
I'm sure there's one. Yeah.
I think. We'll Google that real quick to see if you're disqualified.
You just get zeros. I'll probably still beat monDe.
Look, just because I have an 8.
Yeah, it's called Black Clover Quartet Knights.
What system's it for?
It's on PS4.
Came out in
Ooh.
2018.
What the hell? It's on Steam. 90% off right now. It's $5. Is it bad?
I was gonna say, how bad the graphics? Now I gotta look at this.
It can't be good.
It can't be good.
Well, we would have heard about it if it was good.
I mean, it's a Bandai game.
The graphics, it just looks like a copy paste of Naruto. How have I never played this game? That's a sidebar. I gotta play this game sometime.
Verdict rolls. Mage can stay.
So I'm picking the Grimoires from Black Clover. So they are manifestations of magic power. There is 1,000, probably 1 million different kinds of them. They're very unique to each person. When you turn, I think it's 15 typically, each person gets their own grimoire based on their own magic ability. And typically they also your magic ability also matches to the user's personality. The grimoires from the Clover Kingdom have like 5 clover, or have up to 5 clovers on them. Different kingdoms have different things associated with them. There's the Diamond, Spade, and Heart kingdoms as well, which are different grimoires and different rating systems. But they increase your physical strength as well as your speed just by having one. And then they help you to focus your magic power into spells and to just amass magic power in general. They also grow different sizes and can be, there's even like kingdoms have like cut them up and combine different grimoires to make different magic types. And even like Julius Novacrona, who is the wizard king in the show, has a grimoire that was like 1 million pages big because it was the size of the kingdom. So it's based on like your magic power, how thick your grimoire is. So yeah, it's a very cool item. Please be kind. I really like this show.
I mean, I too like this show.
Is this from that show Wisteria Magic and Swords?
I'm gonna say yes. Because from what you described, it's the same fucking show.
Anyways, monDe can go first rating. I volunteer him as tribute.
Okay, so if we're talking about the grimoires themselves, their usefulness has to be a 10 because they're like useful in general because magic helps people.
Yay, magic.
Corruptibility is definitely a 1 because everyone's dependent on these things from what I've seen. The only one not dependent is the one that doesn't have magic but still gets a grimoire of swords.
And then also becomes dependent on the swords.
Yeah.
So
highly corrupt.
I knew that was coming.
Discrete ability, I mean, it's a book, and if you're terrible with magic, it's a book with maybe 2 pages. So you're going to look at it and go, okay, well, this clearly is no threat. But if you're like highly done with magic and you got a grimoire the size of planet Pluto floating above your kingdom, not very discreet.
That's a problem, yeah. Or you're like one of the Silvas where your book, it looks like a Harry Potter book, probably.
And there's no pictures. So, I mean, both sides of the spectrums are there, so I'm going to have to go with a 5 for that.
16. That was about what I expected.
From me or from Silver?
Yes. I'm sure Silver will be not as nice.
How come I'm not the nice one?
Oh, shut up. You know why.
Yeah.
You gave me a 5.
It was an 8. Okay. So, if we're ruling that this book comes if you have magic, does that mean we're also bringing magic over from the world as well?
I was assuming because it talks about how like it's based on life force as well. So it's like natural talent and life force and kind of like that mixture, like vitality, you know what I mean? Like key kind of thing.
So if we're going ahead and bring over the key, the life force, magical energy, whatever they want to call it, does that mean the demons associated with these books also come over?
I'm gonna say yeah. It's gotta, right?
Yeah.
You can't have one without the other.
But nevertheless, usefulness still 10, depending on which grimoire you get.
Yeah, that's fair. Although even like the lower end ones, they're still like they're all useful in their own way. I feel like that's the point of the show.
Yeah, but it takes multiple of the smaller ones and make a community usefulness. Like you're not much usefulness if all you have is your swords that repel magic and no one else has magic.
Yeah, true. You just have these giant swords that can barely cut anything.
They're dull, they're rusty, they come out of a book. I mean, it's like a sheath.
I love that you said they come out of a book like that was a problem.
I mean, it's a worse shulker box. You just store a couple swords in a book instead of a small box. But still, the magic aspect brings usefulness to a 10. Corruptibility, it depends on the user. I'd say probably a 5 as well. Not as well, be a 5 corruptibility wise. It's not going to take you over unless you get a demon corrupted one.
Yeah. And even then, as long as you make a deal with the devil,
it might just cost you an arm.
Yeah, it might just cost you an arm. Spoilers.
And I had on my notes when you were first talking discreetness set to 8, but with monDe's explanation about how they could be from Dr. Seuss to planet size books, or like Lord of the Rings, even that's too really big to carry around a bunch.
To be fair, we've only ever seen one person with a grimoire that size. Everyone else has been like you said, Lord of the Rings or smaller.
Yeah, from Dr. Seuss to Lord of the Rings, it'd be a variance. I have to go down to about a 5 as well.
Okay. Was that 21?
20. 5, 5, and 10.
Everyone add up your scores.
monDe added up his score earlier. monDe is sad.
Look at monDe go.
monDe just wants to say if y'all have 3 digits, then y'all beat monDe.
Dang. At 112, monDe had probably 80 something.
Silver had 2 stacks in Minecraft.
What's 2 stacks in Minecraft?
64 plus 64.
Yes, monDe knows. So 128.
Dang.
Yep. monDe had a whole whopping 98.
So we had the same results as last week.
Yeah. That is 1 win for Silver, 2 wins for Silver and 1 win for Mage.
And monDe came in last twice.
monDe thinks this game is rigged, even though monDe made the rules.
Mage has come in second place every week so far.
All right, you bitch. I won the first week. Get fucked.
Consecutive Mage.
This bitch. Do we want to spin the wheel for our next episode?
Minecraft is what got me the highest points.
Yeah, I fucking know Minecraft is what got you the highest points. And I'm mad about it.
Okay. Yeah, get your list ready. We'll spin the wheel for what monDe has to make rules for this week. Or this next week. So I have to stop up again. We can make his card. Spin that wheel.
We are doing mechs next week. So mech suits.
Mechs or mech suits?
Yes. Let's what are we classifying as a mech?
Are we talking like full mechanical, like Power Ranger droids?
If you're fully enclosed.
Okay, so like Power Ranger droids.
It's a Megazord. Do not call it a droid. Hold the fuck on.
We're gonna upset Mage here.
I think the smallest mech suit would be like
Gurren Lagann.
Well, yeah. If you can fit your full body in it.
Yeah.
Also like
the
a
head
lighter.
of, yeah. Like from Zoids or Reinhardt's armor, since it's actually bigger than an actual person and he's fully enclosed in it.
I found a gray line.
What's the gray line?
Samarimon? Is he qualified as...
You're fully enclosed. Samarimon from Digimon, where you use him as a... And even then, you would also consider Locomon.
Yeah, because he's a train.
Yeah.
So that's the rules. It must be fully enclosed.
Yep.
The person must fully be enclosed. Now, are we also doing, like, they have to still have their physical body and fully enclosed? So, like, none of the spirit Digivolutions from Digimon? Or are they also now considered mechs?
I would say those aren't considered mechs.
I consider one of them as a mech.
Garglemon?
Fair.
Garglemon.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually. The other two are just you become that thing. The one is like it's a Gundam.
They're too fleshy to be a mech because they have to be mechanical.
I was also thinking the Spirit Digivolution ones as well, but I think they just physically take on that thing. You don't ever see their human side. I just figured I'd get these gray lines out before I put them down as a character and get vetoed.
Yeah, fair. And if you have any questions or anything, you have to put it in the chat.
Fair enough.
Okay, then with that, we'll wrap up this recording and we'll see you all for the next apocalypse.
Bye.
Bye. Chaotic.
Hello, Chaotic here. Thank you for listening to Archetype Apocalypse. Mage, monDe, and Silver will be back to debate soon, but if you just can't wait to get your hands on more, check out the other projects within Mythic Gates on Discord or at monstersmythe.wixsite.com. A quick tip since Silver can't hear me either. If you sub to Patreon, you get episodes a week early. Don't tell them I told you. See you next time, AA Fiends.